Mr. Mack-Poole, 3-minute history. Today we're going to look into a very interesting narrative account. This narrative account is about the Khrushchev ultimatum, the Berlin crisis, and the summit meetings. So what's the problem? Let me tell you. That's the problem right there. Khrushchev is not happy. And why is he not happy? Because the capitalist powers have a little enclave in Berlin. But look, East Germany is a communist zone. He doesn't want those Western powers there spying on him. He wants them out. And so he gives an ultimatum in 1958. He says, "Get out of Berlin. You must get out of Berlin." One of his number one beefs is the problem that there's a brain drain, that's skilled workers are leaving from the communist zone and going into West Berlin. He's not happy about that. He is losing some of his best workers, plumbers, engineers, teachers, skilled workers. 2,000 refugees are leaving every single day. So Khrushchev is a bit of a hothead, and he has previously said in the 1956 Hungarian uprising, "We will bury you." Okay, that was a nuclear threat. So Eisenhower thinks, you know what, we need some talks. So Eisenhower thinks it's a good idea to have some summit meetings, and they do have summit meetings. In fact, Eisenhower and Khrushchev have 3 summit meetings. 2 go quite well, but the third one, well, let's say, I wouldn't say it's a car crash, I might say it's a plane crash, wink wink. The first summit meeting's in 1959 in neutral Switzerland. Always good to meet on neutral ground. Now this is really talks about talks, and neither Khrushchev or Eisenhower attend. But, crucially, Eisenhower does invite Khrushchev to the United States of America in 1959, the same year. Camp David in 1959 is a lot more positive. Both of them are there, and you have to remember, it does massage Khrushchev's ego. It's the first time that a Soviet premier has ever been given a state visit to the United States of America in Camp David. So this goes very positively. But importantly, there's no resolution to this Berlin crisis, this brain drain. Neither side can really negotiate what they want. But they do agree to a further round of talks. So this is the most positive that it gets. Now this one goes really badly because Gary Powers' U-2 spy plane incident ruins the Paris conference in 1960. Khrushchev is absolutely furious. He demands an apology because Gary Powers' spy plane was shot down over the USSR. Eisenhower refuses to apologise. He shows some backbone and he says, "You spy on me, I spy on you." So Khrushchev walks out of the meeting in a rage, and as you can see, tensions increase. Now in 1961 we get a new president of the United States of America. That's JFK. Now JFK was actually quite young, and Khrushchev thinks he's inexperienced. And as you can see, if you read this here, JFK was completely unprepared for his summit with Khrushchev. Khrushchev goes on the offensive in this meeting and basically gives JFK a good talking to, a lecture. JFK is not impressed. He feels emasculated, feminised from this meeting, and he wants to get his own back. To be fair, Khrushchev did have some good points. JFK had tried to invade Cuba in 1961, and the whole issue of Berlin had not been solved. As a consequence of this meeting going very badly, tensions increase again, and it leads to the building of the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall would remain for 28 years. To be fair, it would actually reduce tensions as the refugee crisis would stop. However, it did become a symbol of all that was bad about communism to the Western powers. JFK himself would visit Berlin in 1963 to show his appreciation and support for Berlin. In this famous visit, he would state, "Ich bin ein Berliner." I am a Berliner, not I am a donut. Okay, now guys, that's a full narrative account with causes, events and consequences of the Berlin crisis, the summit meetings and the erection of the Berlin Wall.